So where do we begin? I'm Dominic Raphael, and I am the host of Up in Canada. It is November the 3rd, and we are now embarking on interior design and interior remodeling. We're also embarking on responsibility, and that responsibility falls to the ones that are the negligent. So throughout this month, we will be engaging in some rather difficult situations when it comes to the remodel. This is 1894 when this duplex was built. It used to be on the corner of Yonge and Broadway. Then in 1930, it was moved one lot over where it remains today. And at that time in 1930, they also added an addition on the back of this property. Our research shows that the Robinson family owned this building during that time period. And the reason they did what they did is because they were in oil and gas, which was quite new to us. But then you are on Broadway in Winnipeg, which is pretty much the main artery in Canada, which is number one, highway number one, the Canada or Trans-Canada Highway. So no matter what direction you take here on Broadway, east or west, it'll either take you to Vancouver or it'll take you to Newfoundland. With that being said, my point being is that at the time of the transition from moving the building over one lot and then building the addition, the original intentions were to have their business and their residence in the same building. I guess over time, things change. Ideas are great, but they do change. And as government starts overreaching in every aspect of your life, like where you can live, how you live, your lot, the size of it, the cost of it, and also the purpose of that lot. Now, we are in an area which is called West Broadway. It's known by most people as West Broadway. And mind you, it's only registered on the civil map as Broadway. It's not even an avenue. It's not even a street or it's just called Broadway. Now, in past videos, actually, near the beginning of this YouTube channel, we found out a lot of information about West Broadway. It is a very central hub because it's not only convenient to downtown Winnipeg, it's convenient to the Parliament, which is just down the street on Broadway. It is the avenues and streets that also divide all of the different communities in West Broadway. For example, just one block north of where we are is the University of Winnipeg. Its campus is spread over all of downtown, but more so spread in the general vicinity of the Art Gallery, the Hudson's Bay Company, the Colony Square, and some of the corner avenues of Good Street and Broadway. Good Street and can't think of the name at the moment, but there are several residential buildings, like we're talking 14, 15 story sky rises. So there's a high demand in this area, and I did promise in earlier videos that I would do a tour of these following areas to show you the development that's ongoing, has continued to grow, and continues to grow in Winnipeg. Over the pandemic, the construction industry has not slowed down, and actually it's increased exponentially. I can't speak for all of the world, but I can speak for a good portion of the communities throughout the world. Most developed countries and so on. There's going to be an influx of migration that has already started. And a lot of inquiries, although secret inquiries and hush inquiries between only certain development countries, or not development countries, but developments, manufacturers and development departments, not departments, developers. That's the word, developers. I think what I'll start with is Broadway, just Broadway, from Portage Avenue, which is the continuation of Trans-Canada Highway, to Broadway and Main Street, which is also a kind of a side street of the number one highway. Broadway is like a crossover, but it is actually considered the number one Trans-Canada hub going to and from Parliament and across the city. In our vicinity, within 1 square kilometer, that's not a great deal of space, but in 1 square kilometer, we have Osborne Village, we have Sherbrooke Commons, we have West Broadway, of course, we have Fort Rouge, which is not far from Osborne, we have Central Winnipeg, which is kind of made up of a whole lot of communities. But these are all central hubs that have extensive development ongoing and continuing on right now, and a lot that has been completed already. So it is going to be a roller coaster and tour of what is going on in Winnipeg, and most likely around the world and in most developing countries. For example, simple example, across the way, if I can focus it in, no, I can't. Oh wait, maybe I can. The sunlight's too bright. Just across the way, a brand new parking lot was built. Now, I speculated that maybe they were going to expand their store across from us, which is still a possibility. It hasn't happened yet, but it was filled in and concrete as a parking space. And from where I am, I would surmise that it has parking access for about 10 vehicles, and also access for deliveries for the store. So that's just the last month when this was developed and built and done. So in the coming days or weeks, depending on my schedule, I'm going to tour de France, only detour the Winnipeg within 1 kilometer of where we are located. And my intention is to show how much new construction and development is happening in this area, and the demand for property is on the rise, and it's definitely high rise. I do remember and recall making another video, and you could check it out on www.upincanada.us, and that is all in lowercase. It's a rather extensive video on several subjects, mostly to do with the neighbor, but it also has a lot of insert into what I perceive as the future in West Broadway and Winnipeg in general, and then cities across the country and across the world. In saying that, I think what I will be doing is, and I don't know if I have it's possible I don't have the before and after photos of these new developments, but I can describe what was there previously because I've lived in this area for over 40 years of my life. So take that into consideration. I am well versed in Winnipeg, and especially the down-core area. Grew up in West End, which is pretty much just directly 5 blocks across the way, north of where Broadway is. So yeah, I have some experience in that area, and knowledge of what previous establishments were in the area at the time. But aside from that, stay tuned, because this month is going to be a huge introduction into the direction of my life and the direction of many other people's lives. Because up in Canada and around the world, but mostly down in West Broadway and Winnipeg and Manitoba, changes are a-coming. Changes are happening, and changes have happened. So with that in mind, stay tuned, because we've got more videos on the way, and we look forward to any comments you have, any likes you want. Not that it's important, at least not to me, maybe more so to the algorithm and YouTube. But you have to understand, we're also going long haul into the Twitterverse, which may be the X app that is going to surpass all of the current media outlets and media media networks, let's just say, social networks. So let's keep that in mind, and we'll see you soon.